And we are back in the Red Hot Racing circuit as teammate across from me puts his head down as soon as I hit the record button. And we're going into a race that I have the highest expectations for, per se. My car is relatively competitive now, yeah. And it's got a bit of everything in every category. A bit of, not a ton of. Fried engine upgrade, so there goes that advantage there. They must have done an aero upgrade last, though. I don't remember them being that high there. The track so much isn't what I hate, although I'm not a big fan of Hungary. It's more of like, the AI here are a lot better than the player. Compared to the fact that they are apparently not all that good at Germany or England, or Britain. I know there's like tracks they're just notoriously not good at, and tracks they notoriously are. They usually are very good at Australia, and usually are very good at Spain. And they're usually not very good at Monaco. Compared to a player that is competent, anyway. Like if the average difficulty is 95, that would be correct for me at Australia. But it would not be as such for Monaco. As you saw, I won with the McLaren before it was even competitive there. But here, the average difficulty, like, aggregate might be like 91. Because the AI, they get the same downforce as somebody with like 810 wings, or 9.9 downforce, while still retaining the speed from the 6.6 wings that they actually use, because the AI don't change their setups. So I basically would need to have a huge engine power advantage in order to really compete at the same level at 97 difficulty. I don't. I have a lower engine than even Williams right now. Yeah, I have an advantage over Red Bull in it, by a little bit. But a little bit is not enough to abstain the difference of like 4 additional clicks of downforce.
Fans, and here we are again for qualifying at the Hungaroring. Who will have tuned the perfect setup for their car? We'll find out soon.
Isn't that ironic? Answer, no one. And when I complete the lap, you'll even see in the speed trap just the immense difference between myself and even like Natsuki, who has much less aero than me to work with. That wasn't even my controller this time, that's just the straightaway not being totally straight. So, I ended up in the grass there from that instead. Sometimes if your ride height's a little low too, sometimes the car will bounce around down long, bumpy straightaways. Oh, a big miss. Don't ever touch this curb here, by the way. That curve has like the instant spin no matter what you do. Man, I have missed so many apexes here. This lap has not been that great, I'll be real with you. Like, even by my Hungaroring standards, this lap was garbage. And that's still good for beating everybody that isn't Kadim. 6/10 off of him right now. I think somebody might go faster than that, but I'm not sure. If you look at the speed trap data, well, I have to hear it from Jeff. Actually, I don't know what mine is. But I can say with 100% confidence, I never even reached 195. So I am like at best like 8th in the speed trap, and that's assuming I wherever the speed trap was. I cracked 194 down the front straight. I know it's somewhere on there, I just don't know where.
To view current strategy and race objectives, press the MFD button to open the multifunction display, and then press it again to cycle through till you reach the strategy and objective screen.
There is, by the way, I don't think there's any kind of objective screen. In older games, it would just say, like, a little number next to your position, like, you know, if your goal was 10th, it would say number 10 there. And it would be red, and if you were higher than 10th, it would light up green.
Our fastest lap is a 1 minute 18.2.
I can crack a 17 if I stop missing so many godforsaken apexes. That's a hot lapper, isn't it? Well, that's just not my problem right now. First, I'll try and hit this apex. Better. Big miss again. Here comes the other one I missed. Well, it's an improvement. Big gains. I told you I'd break a 17.
Excellent lap. We're really pleased.
And that's not even very good. See what I mean? Like, that was actually a good lap this time. I missed turn 4, but that's it.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who will be fronting the grid. Vettel, Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas. With qualifying wraps up, we now have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
As you can see, yeah, this is the first time I've been out-qualified by Kurt Wild, because we're in the same car, which means either I really missed a corner, which other than turn 4 I didn't, or he just straight up cheating. That's not how you look at that. View lap times, 27.2, 27.7, 22.1. He didn't try a third lap, but then the session ended, apparently. .27.1. Apparently it was sector 3 where I was slow. And it was an even split between 2 and 3, even though it was faster. That ski went for 3 runs, apparently. Because, like, I'm dead even with him, and that's, like, the first time that's been the case. Because I think if I had actually hit turn 4 correctly. Turn 4 being the left-hand kink that I said I missed twice, so...
Well done. Very solid result. You're looking good for the race.
Yeah, I don't have much of a choice but to do that. I have to be ahead of at least the Red Bulls by the end of the straightaway. Pretty much. That may be unattainable. Well, actually no, because I think they start 6th and 7th. So
It's always wonderful to come back to the lively Hungaro ring. A popular destination this, nice and close to the beautiful city of Budapest, with some exciting racing to boot. Who can forget Michael Schumacher pushing his old teammate Rubens Barrichello up towards the pit wall in 2010, or those great races of 2014 and 2015 as well.
they weren't.
Team corners then, off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how
People say 2019 Hungary was okay, but other than that, none of them for the last 5-6 years have been any good.
Hamilton completes the front row.
So Remu, Kadim, Nidari. Oh, never mind. Suwako went crazy here. I got Suwako and Amy's locations switched around. This is an interesting starting grid, to be honest.
Great starting position for us. Let's see if we can improve on that in the race.
I like how that's what he says here now, instead of when I got pole at Britain, for example. Yeah, I don't know if I want to pit early here, but at the same time, I think I kind of do. It's such weird numbers. You usually put those at a 5 or 0, because that's the increment you can adjust it in the game. But whoever made the setup on Amusing, which was either Tyler or Cam's, they decided to just throw that out the window. Yeah, there's the downforce. And there's me forgetting they brake super early. I'm also never going to be able to get to the inside because of Sayori jumping me. But being like dead even still, because we're not. Thank you, Natsuki. It's not like you wanted to give me a lane or anything, apparently. Okay, sorry, I'm sorry, but I cannot be behind you. And by the way, into turn 1 is the only place you can pass, so that means I have to get really lucky. Or just do that, pass people. Curbs! It looks like I can just take advantage of the fact that the AI brake really cautiously on the first lap, and do things that way. I will never hit any apexes. This is gonna be like the first actual struggle race, I think. I'm actually kinda surprised Amy wasn't catching me more on down that straight. That's how that was supposed to work in qualifying, but now of course I do it here. That could have been me starting 7th instead of 8th. If I had just done that in qualifying. God, I couldn't see where I was supposed to brake, because I literally couldn't see the line beneath Natsuki's car. That ever-existing problem with the racing line in this game is that the AI never sway from it. Okay, finally hit both of those apexes for the first time in my life. Seemingly.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
Christ, Amy. How did that just pass me? You didn't hardly even made turn 2. Yeah, I think barring DNFs or some sort of crazy resurgence on the medium tires, I may be relegated to 9th in this one. Especially if I can ever hit that cursed racing line through there. The corner's not even hard. I swear, it isn't.
Lap then, come into the pits at the end of this lap.
I'm going for like the ultra undercut here. Because honestly, I think some crazy things need to be done or need to happen for me to get anywhere near where I should be finishing. I don't have to finish higher than 9th, really, contractually speaking. Oh, that's why you never touch that curb. Ever, never, ever, never, ever, 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 ever touch that curb. It's just like instant death. It's like hitting a spike in Mega Man. And that's one reason why I hate league racing here, because, well, that curb is the end of your race if you hit it. There's no flashback button in an online league race, like there is here. So you hit that, and you might as well just turn your system off and go to bed. Because you've officially wasted your night. This is either going to put me out of points, or it's going to get me a top 6. There isn't an in-between. And I think it's honestly based on where the Williams cars are in relation to me when I exit. Williams and whoever else is here.
Complete, go now.
As I see Kadeem is running the hell away with this one.
See these tires through to the end now.
And Kim can't catch a break this season either. I shouldn't be alive. I hit the dreaded turn 5 curb and survived. Who am I? I have plot armor. The only plausible explanation for what just happened. And now I need to hit these apexes. I'd certainly hope so. It's like the easiest thing to do in this game. At least when you put extra in, anyway. If you don't, then you're crazy. Because that's not how this game works. No one's gone in yet, so I'd have had an undercut either way. You really think that I'm gonna do that off of this alone? Well, the pit stop's like 22 seconds, so really... That's 22 seconds he's been off track. Means he'd still be ahead of me, because he's still moving a little bit for that. Do I care? Not really. The AI cheated here enough, and the game didn't even say anything, so... If only I had done that in qualifying, right? This track is one of those that Track is one of those that I often say is better when hot lapping than trying to race on it. The second sector is actually kind of fun to do when you have the track to yourself, but unfortunately you don't usually have that liberty. I've jumped my teammate with that. And I'm right up to Tyler. That was actually incredibly important. And incredibly good that I just did that. Tyler's gonna get held up by Sayori, is that? Has to be. Nope, that's Cam, and he has a problem. So yeah, you're really gonna get blocked here, Ty. I'm really not gonna stop here, Ty, because I can't see where the damn racing line is, as these two keep sitting on top of it. Oh, now you brake later than me. Okay. Man, what am I looking at here?
The car behind has boxed for the mediums. Car behind on the medium tire.
Oh, you don't see something like that every day. Cam! I have no words for you right now, Cam. I already had to brake check you at Montreal for defending me when on a different strategy and in a completely worse car. Then I'm gonna have to do it again for literally burnout freeing my ass.
0.5 seconds.
While I'm trying to make a super lit overtake around the outside, which you don't really do at Hungary. Well, around the outside you don't do anywhere in this game, but you certainly don't do it at this track. Where in the heck are you getting DRS from? What? Who is that off? Well, I guess probably whoever probably Reimu, just before she went in, and the game is like, alright, you still get it. So now I have, like, new life in this event. As this is a track position course. If I'm ahead of Tyler, there's not a ton he can do to get around me, even with DRS. It's because he has a weaker engine than me, and he's like the only relevant car that does. Doesn't help I do that, though.
Hulkenberg has the lead.
That's a weird one. Well, he's also pits, so no. Or she. Hulkenberg is Taylor.
The advised moving to mix 2. Fuel to mix
Jeff,
2.
do you not see what I'm trying to do right now? I know that I shouldn't be in this fuel mix, but I am anyway. Oh my god, please brake. Dirty air makes this section so much worse, though. Absolutely dead for that. No way, I'm not allowing that one. And he's done this season as well. Not around this track. I really don't have time for anyone's bullshit around Hungaroring, because there's no room for anyone's bullshit around Hungaroring. Just plain and simple. There's just not space for it. There's almost less space here than there is at Monaco. I'm not even kidding. There are no barriers, mind you, but the track's not much wider here. Why is there yellow to begin with?
Green flag.
We'll soon be told in a second. I'm looking at the map! That would have been death right there. Think about it, well, I've used plenty of flashbacks this season. I've yet to actually wreck the car. I actually don't think anyone suffered terminal damage. Oh, bye Sonic. Oh,
Virtual safety car. Reduce speed immediately.
bye my sanity.
Keep a positive delta.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Knitter. At least they have a guideline, just do what she does.
Virtual safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until the green flag. VSC ending. Wait for green.
DRS for like a quarter of a second there.
Caution, caution. Someone's come up ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead.
Turn! Darn it, it's just like the other track. I remember which one it was. It was France. All of my good corners are the ones you can't hope to pass in. Or near. This issue is exacerbated by, like, the AI just straight up cheating through some corners. I'm not even kidding. Gotta go fast!
I started to catch the car in front. We need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop.
Only Nidori would have ever given me enough space to try that. If I tried that on Tyler or Cam, I would have been decimated from that one.
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
That went from like confidence to panic to screw it in a matter of like a handful of like milliseconds. Like within like half a second, I went through like 4 different emotions. I didn't want 6th. I did not miss the next right-hander. I did. I don't think that's close enough, but I've been wrong on that sort of thing before. Not. Admittedly, if she had dive bombed me, I would have accepted it, because, like, I kind of almost killed us a minute ago. It doesn't mean you have to, it just means I would have been okay with it. There's a difference. And don't even think about doing something stupid here, Nidori. I think I've made the Kappa angry. I'm not sure what gives me this impression. And you were right there! Oh my good lord. Oh, I am so dead if I don't get that last turn right. Nidori has entered like anger mode right now. Shows me where I'm putting myself. I did not need first. I think this race is going to be mighty interesting. Unless, like, Amy or Tyler get a little frisky with her and prevent her from reaching me for too much longer, eventually I'm just going to crumble and she's going to take advantage. Because as things are now, I'm not sure I'd be able to hold on for 3.5 more laps.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
Shut up, Jeff.
Copy.
I think I was waiting for someone to throw it in there on me in that corner. Oh, she's nowhere near me right now. I had an absolutely boosted final turn there. Okay, I did that, and I really didn't even gain all that much on her. It's probably why the game doesn't yell at me for it. Admittedly, given the start of this race and everything else I expected, getting a top 5 here even would be, like, not at all bad. Okay, this is dangerous territory. Oh, this is dangerous territory. For a second I thought you didn't even have DRS open. I was like, what? Oh, I missed that a little bit. As I now confirm, Kadim has definitely won this race. He's in the next county at this point. If they even have a county system in Hungary, I'm not exactly sure. You know, kind of happens when you've never been to Europe before. I could just keep going inwards either way, it doesn't matter. I have enough to reach the end of the lap. Uh-oh. I got confident that she wasn't close enough. She is very much close enough. Oh, this is not... oh, God. Yeah. I did not need 6. It doesn't matter, I mean, he's not close enough. Dean wins, like, resoundingly. Maybe next time, Nittery. When lap 3 was around, I did not expect a podium.
Yes, another historic win under their belts. Well done to the team at Mercedes. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out on the track was today.
Speed!
I know it sounds like an obvious thing to say, Crofty, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes. And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. It's a great result for Lewis Hamilton, who
Oh, I had the
was further
fastest
ahead
lap.
at the top of the
Somehow.
table. Some amazing talents out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to Falcon. Look at where they finished compared to where they started.
I didn't cut through the field, I got it on strategy.
Let's move on to the constructors.
Yeah?
Mercedes continue to extend the
Yeah?
lead. Well, that's an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
I probably should have known that was coming. I knew she was coming in the house soon. Okay, Kurt, you need to get 8th in points this season. That is your only goal. And I think if you really get beaten out by Racing Point, there's just going to be some problems. And we're doing new constructors. We are hanging on perfectly fine to third for the moment. Obviously can't get any higher than that, but, you know.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you?
I mean, I guess if anything, that would be it. The team noticed. What?
You really looked in control of your car out there. Your team must be
I think it's probably because I've already been kissing their ass enough.
Appreciate your time.
Like, I think the morale is probably already high in the aero department because of how much I've been praising them. Because that is kind of the thing with McLaren, is their aero department. And McLaren doesn't even make their own engines. It's Renault engines. McLaren have never done that, so... Even when they're massively successful in the 80s and 90s, that was technically a Honda engine in the car. And even like McLaren's road cars, like the SLR, is a Mercedes engine, as is I think literally everything else I've ever done. Big points! Yeah, I totally did that. I swear. I would see what silly thing here.
Thoroughly deserved. We were sweating those last few laps on the pit.
You weren't the only one. Let's try this. All right.
Okay,
Perfect.
that proposal looks good. It seems all parties are happy with the deal, so it'll commence at the next race weekend.
If that didn't work, I could have just probably taken one off simultaneous development and maybe made it 9th and 9th, to be honest. I hadn't even thought about that. There's a chance for driver swaps, but they usually don't happen this early unless there's some sort of absolutely cataclysmic occurrence, or if I change teams, obviously that'll set it in motion, but I don't plan on it at any point during the remainder of the season. I probably will change teams, though, assuming nobody gets switched around here or after 16. After, what is 16? After Russia. Just to make things happen in the series and make Season 2 a little more interesting.
There have been some recent changes
There
to the
have
driver
been.
lineup. At key points in a season, drivers who are due to end their current contracts may choose to move between teams, or even go into retirement. I'll send you an email each time a move occurs to keep you abreast of any recent changes.
People don't go into retirement, by the way. Development completed. Vert has arrived. And Blossom has been let go as Taylor is now on Racing Point with, So we have Vert in the series with Carlos Sainz, kicking Taylor out of Renault. Taylor has been added to Racing Point to partner with Natsuki, and Blossom has been ejected, leaving Bubbles the lone Powerpuff Girl. So that's a little interesting. Yeah, I had a feeling Vert might be coming into the series at some point. Honestly, who's higher in points there? Carts aren't looking great. I may have to take some penalties in the near future. I think they'll be able to finish Belgium fine, but I may have to do some crazy shit for Monza. By crazy shit, I mean take grid penalties and get new engine components and stuff. Though, once I've gotten the 1 penalty, I can just get an entirely new set of parts. So, they'll be fine for Belgium. That is actually a net loss for Racing Point in Constructors. They've lost 6 points to that. But they have saved Taylor, who is a pretty decent driver, and I think now with the improved equipment of a Racing Point over Renault. Yeah, that's actually been bigger. I wonder what order that happened in. I imagine Taylor probably got signed to Racing Point sooner than Vert appeared. Vert probably was just, Renault was like, we need a replacement and we don't want Blossom, so they just took that. It just took Vert out of, not retirement, but out of inactivity. Yeah, so that's something new to look at. Taylor is actually going to be performing now. Interesting to see. Will be interesting to see, rather. Speaking of performing, I should probably simulate these and get the what's it called? Points, and then maybe make upgrades. I really didn't expect there to be any driver moves, to be honest. There was a patch that happened at some point during this game's life cycle, so within the last, like, 8 months. 7 months. Game came out in August 2019. That, basically, like, made the driver changes that happened a little more, make a little more sense. So you couldn't see something stupid like, well, outside of the series terms, like, Valtteri Bottas moves to Racing Point, and Sergio Perez moving to Mercedes, replacing him, or something like that. That wouldn't happen. Actually, that would happen, but because they're Mercedes teams, that's actually a terrible example. Okay, so like Sebastian Vettel is moving to Williams, and Robert Kubica up to Ferrari. That just wouldn't happen anymore. It could have possibly happened under given circumstances before, but not now. Dry. Yeah, Spa is... Yes, that's what this is. It's another classic in the world of Universe Zero and such. Although after it, I think we're out of... I think after Monza, we are fresh out of familiar tracks. So, everything from there is exclusive to F1. Well, we've seen one of them. We've seen Circuit of the Americas and Time Loop, but other than that one, nothing really in the flesh here, you know? I mean, there's a ripoff of Suzuka on Project Cars, Sakito, but it's nothing like the real thing, really. I mean, it is, but it doesn't drive like it, rather. Anyway, upgrades. I'd actually like, which one though? I'm gonna go with that. So a smaller upgrade kit, but also makes things cheaper in the future. Although, really, I shouldn't be focusing on that at this point. I don't know. Long-term stuff like that is kind of if I plan to... Well, again, that depends on what happens after round 16. If more things change and I don't have to set them in motion by switching teams, I won't. But I might have to later down the line. And then if I do so, it's mostly going to be based on what driver would I want as a teammate. Because more than likely, I'm going to end up with second driver as of now as my teammate. So if end of season I move from McLaren to Ferrari for whatever reason, I don't think I would do that. I would end up almost certainly with Reimu as my teammate. So yeah, that said, will be it for this episode of RHRC. Yeah?